On today's show, the guys are talking with David Siminoff of Shmoop.com. We've got an East Initiative update, information about the Conrad Challenge, witty banter, all that, and more up next on EduTechGuys. You're listening to the EduTechGuys, EduTechGuys.com. Hello and welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm David Henderson.
Hey, and I'm Jeff Madlock.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Today, as we are recording this anyway, it is Halloween.
That scared me. Not going to lie to you.
Well, you've got the headphones on, so if I talk like this...
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what you sound like.
We are coming to your town.
Yeah, you take your white van and go on down the road. Hey, listen, don't forget to check us out on the web, www.edutechguys.com. You can also find us on Twitter. Heck, I say it every week. I'm going to say it one more time. It's a spooktacular event. Go over to Google, type in EduTechGuys, and you're going to find us out there. And boo, we're going to scare you.
Boo. That's take one look. We scare you.
Hey, hope you're having a happy Halloween and you're prepping up for Thanksgiving and you're buying your Christmas stuff. And I think they also have the Easter stuff out at Walmart at this point. So
you skipped New Year's, man. You skipped New Year's. You got to remember the New Year's hats and blowers and.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen that stuff at Walmart. It's like they go for the bigger ones. You ever seen New Year's stuff at Walmart?
Yeah, we get our stuff every year at Walmart.
Do you really?
They have a what do you like a middle kiosk thing or whatever they call that? You know.
I like the fact that we get our stuff every year.
Every year.
Your wife's listening going, we don't buy New Year's Eve. What's he talking about?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yeah, we actually have a New Year's party every year.
Oh, wow.
You've never been invited because...
Notice that. And as we change the subject and move on...
I use the term party very, very loosely. It's actually just us and our best friend, so...
Okay. I won't hold it against you. But it would be... saying, good luck to you guys on the party and stuff, and... good luck cleaning up the toilet paper in your yard the next morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, listen, hope you're having a great time. Yes, the semester's almost over.
That was awkward.
It's getting close to the end of this first semester of school. Christmas is right around the corner.
Hallelujah.
Doesn't seem like it, but Christmas is bouncing right around. Mm-hmm. You know, I saw it just bouncing down the street the other day. But no, listen, we're going to have a great show today. We got some great folks on. We got David Siminoff with Shmoop.com. It's spelled SCHMOOP.com. Really cool stuff that they do there. Well, we'll get to hear more when we talk to David. And we've got some information on the Conrad Challenge. This Friday is the deadline for applying for the Conrad Challenge.
That's right, November 2nd. So as long as you're listening to this before then, you still have time to get your team entered. And we've got some really cool information to share about something they just added to that. So we'll talk about more about that on the back end.
On the back end. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here. And when we get back, we'll listen to our interview with David Siminoff.
Yeah.
Be right back after this.
In commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the moon landings, the Conrad Challenge has partnered with Blue Origin to send the Moonwalker capsule along with all of the 2018-19 student submissions into space. Learn more at www.conradchallenge.org.
Hey, welcome back to the EduTech Guys. We have a guest with us today. We're really excited to have him on the show. We're going to let him tell us who he is and where he's from and all that good stuff. So here we go.
Hi there. Well, I'm Dave Siminoff. I'm the founder of Shmoop. Am I coming out too loud there?
You're good.
Am I good? All right. Well, Shmoop is an educational publishing company. We have about 16 million monthly users, mostly in the U.S. And expanding now overseas. We are sort of distinguished as a publisher in that we don't take seriously a whole lot of the things that the education world takes very seriously. And if you think about it, our world today is largely patterned after what monks in England 400 years ago told us we should be studying as a complete education. And the world's changed a bit from then. So Shmoop is unapologetically, disrespectful to traditional patterns. We like doing things our own way. We like telling stories. We like engaging people in the pathos, the intimacy, the emotion of learning. rather than just the rote rhetoric of memorization and all the other things you get on the evil side of Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
So that's largely what we're about. We own all of our own content. We built it ourselves over hundreds of years with millions of lives lost and billions of dollars spent to do so.
Well,
I think we found a new partner in crime.
yeah, I think so. You are right up our alley, man. That's awesome.
The quasi-evil bad guy in the yeah.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
right. That's right. Yeah, you're the bad guy of education.
So let's
the bad boy of education.
So let's jump right into it and let's talk about what you guys offer. Let's say public schools, K through 12. What's an opportunity? What plans? What courses? What subjects? What opportunities are there for those grade levels?
Well, you can divide it into a few sections. I think our most popular products are in test prep, with test being broadly defined. There's, of course, the SAT and the ACT, and then the AP exams, but many states have their own structured exams for what comprises qualifications to graduate high school, and a number of other things. So there are assessments that identify weaknesses in a given student, and then we automatically kind of present to that student a whole series of learning modules that they can then get through on their own to get them to a level of proficiency to hit anything from, getting into Harvard all the way down to, just graduating high school so they can get a normal job. So that's one element. We have a whole series of courses. Those take the form of ACE accreditations. ACE is generally the junior college and college for credit system, such that you can actually take a whole bunch of courses on Shmup, get college credit, and maybe combine that with a junior college few years. And it only takes you then 1.5, 2 years to graduate from a full university. And instead of graduating with $148,000 of debt, you only have $23,000, and you don't have to declare bankruptcy when you're 32. So a whole bunch of magic that goes into that. And then we're a whole bunch of guides, basically textbooks in various verticals that range in the sciences and maths all the way to literature, which I think we're pretty well known for. So it's a little bit of everything. States license us through salespeople, and most of the time just come to our website, fill out a form, and get a seat license in a bulk wholesale deal to their district.
That's cool.
So I'm curious, given your lighthearted introduction and kind of what seems to be your company philosophy, I'm kind of curious. So I have a background in literature, and it was, well, exactly. I mean, that's what I was going to say.
And you see what he's doing now.
It was, it was very, it was very stodgy. It's very, blah, blah, blah. So I'm curious. So as an example, how is your literature content different from the traditional, 400-year-old monk approach to literature?
Yeah, I think the monk's approach, or the Dead Poet Society approach, basically kills the epiphany, meaning epiphany in the sense of a sudden discovery that you didn't already know existed. Like watching a formulaic Hollywood movie, you know what's going to happen in the next scene, and you know the hero's not going to die, because if they kill him, then the sequel won't happen.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So,
unless you're Deadpool.
So, our world asks a lot of questions, and it does it in a humorous way. That asks, well, what would have happened had this been the case or that been the case? It posits a lot of real world elements, like, okay, now replace Nick Carraway with Batman, and how is Gatsby different?
Yeah.
And it offers a structural incision or inspection on the writing itself, so that the students can actually use their own creative brains, their own personal experiences, to create a meta layer on top of traditional, tired, old literary analysis that, you're right, is like watching paint dry.
Yeah, yeah, man, that is awesome. So I'm kind of curious. I know this may seem like a complete leap to the side, but I'm curious what got you into this? How'd you get started? How'd you come up with this whole idea?
Well, pretty much lack of talent in doing anything else was a good motivator.
So putting your degree to use is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is true. My degrees. No, I had a good career on Wall Street. I got lucky in the internet bubble, and did some things right. And I was basically retired, and I had gone to film school at USC. I wanted to write movies and novels and sit around, and the reality is I'm better at analyzing novels than I am writing them. And as I have 3 teenage kids living in the house, or going through everything, talking to them about literature, it was very inspiring. When my kids were very little, explaining the concept of pathos, or what loneliness is like in a main character, or what drives people to do ill or good, and how motivation works in literature is really, in my mind, a fundamental precept for how everything works. So I sat around and I wrote guides to my 50 favorite works, and put them up on basically Drupal in a simple server.
Sure.
And in a very short time, librarians and students tweeted about how different this product was. So really the foundation of Shmup were those 50 lit guides. And in about 2 months with no marketing, we had over 1 million unique users.
Wow.
Almost all in the US. And my wife kind of looked at me and said, hey, we might have a small business here. And why don't you go write another 100? So I did, and hired people to kind of clone my goofy voice and a whole bunch of other things that went with it. And then the guides ended up being, I think we have 3,400 guides now on site. And then all of those morphed into video as well, as the world kind of went from reading to watching 3 or 4 years ago. So we have over 10,000 videos now on the site that cover pretty much everything in literature and all the test prep stuff, of course. And our new thing is in everything finance, because finance is way too hard to understand. I had a very good career on Wall Street, and I love explaining investment risk in the template of sports, mainly golf. And it's a lot about how well you know yourself, how well you know your risks, and how well you know the playing field that you're on. So we're telling lots of little stories with this product that'll hit everyone from high school kids through college, grad school, and and hopefully beyond.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so how many videos do you yourself star in? I just noticed that.
I actually, believe it or not, I voice all of them. So all 10,000 are my lilting voice that most people say, wow, that really puts me to sleep at night. So I'm playing your SAT video to help me rest. So
cool.
Anyway, so it's kind of a strange environment that way. But it's the world had this sudden change 3.5 years ago, where video became the predominant medium in which students learn. My own kids in their high school, the teacher films himself giving a lecture. They watch it at home and then just go to class to ask questions.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole flipped classroom.
Yeah, it's become a thing.
Yeah. And why not? What else has happened with that? We were just at a conference in Houston this weekend, and we were telling a lot of teachers in sessions we were doing that, the swivel, video yourself. I'm a musician, play classical and jazz bass. So I learned a long time ago to video myself and watch myself, play to get better. And it works great in the classroom the same way. We've been really pushing a lot of teachers to do the same thing. But you're right, video is now here at 4 inches on that tiny screen. Our kids are learning everything they can learn right there, super fast.
Yeah, and it's the process of that is great, because the kids can learn at their own time. Kids today have so many things going on: sports, theater, music, all the other extracurricular activities. And so when you can time shift like that, it's a miraculous upgrade in the way you learn.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, now, of course, that the video has been around as long as it has, doing what it's been doing. Now there are videos of, you see videos of kids who were watching videos who taught themselves how to, play guitar or make this or make that or do this or do that. It's amazing how education itself on the outside of the 4 walls of the buildings has really, really changed. And then, we kind of force these kids into the 4 walls of the school building. And unfortunately, a lot of folks are still doing like you said, the 400 800-year-old monk thing.
Yeah, sage.
Yeah, and it's also, to me, it feels unnatural because your curiosity about the world doesn't exist in 52-minute blocks with an 8-minute break in a hour period during a day. You kind of get in the mood to write, or the mood to play guitar, or the mood to do math, or the mood to do whatever. And then you can kind of match that. So there's not so much friction against learning. It's very easy to get started.
Yeah, that is very, very cool.
So if folks want to get in touch with you, our listeners, our educators out there, want to find the best way to get on board, say, with their classroom or with their school or school district, what's the best way they can do that?
You go to shmup.com and you click on the schools tab, and that'll get you right there. And there's all kinds of self-help things. We have hundreds of thousands of people who, kind of come on there every month and deal with our subscription stuff. So hopefully it's self-explanatory. If it's not, email us support@shmup.com and we'll fix whatever's at issue. But generally, hopefully the system works pretty well.
Awesome. So folks want to follow you guys online, on the line. What, your Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of good stuff.
Just type in Shmup, SHMOOP, and you'll find us right away.
Okay, so before we let you go, we have to ask. We can't let you go without asking, where did the name come from?
Well, it's from my grandmother. It was a nickname that she would say to shmup forward her martini. And he would say, honey, can you shmup me my martini?
Nice.
And she and I were very, very close. I grew up with her, lived with her while I was in film school, and she was the most fun person in my life. And shmup, allegorically, is kind of a serious thing in that it means to move something forward a little bit at a time. And so many of the people in Silicon Valley, where we started this company, were trying to revolutionize education and kill all the teachers and replace them with robots and AI. And that was totally the wrong way to go about things.
Sure.
Shmupping things forward a little bit are simple things like flipping the classroom so kids can time shift their learning. That's all you need to do to have a magnificent impact on the way the world learns.
That's awesome. So do you have a parody of Devo's Whip It that's Shmup It? Because if you don't, you need to do that.
That's our new tagline. I think I'm going to take that. Hey, it's
Shmup It good.
Hey, David, thanks for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing the feedback from our listeners about what's going on. And once again, thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hello there. I'm Jerry Prince with East with this week's East Update. When peeping through the window into an East classroom, you see a lot of technology. Things can perhaps be messy or chaotic, but there's a great amount of learning underlying it all. Certainly, students can learn some tech skills, but there are opportunities for enhancing social skills as well. We recently visited with East facilitator from Cabot High School, Beth Hicks, about some of the changes she saw in one particular student.
One of the best student success stories that I can think of is I had a young lady who, very shy, very timid, actually would always wear a hoodie whenever she would get to give presentations, that nervous. And at the end of her first year, she was actually going to the other schools that we have that are coming up looking to join our East program. And she was giving the presentations, and she was the one up there talking about her East experience, which was pretty amazing because here the shy girl, has turned, and now she's able to get up and talk in front of people without the hoodie even.
Another example that has social overtones is from Hot Springs High School. Facilitator John Stokes talks about how a student, Tyler, adapted using some technology to aid in his growth.
He's a Down syndrome's kid who took East to expand his knowledge base on computers. He actually entered the world of VR this year. We have Leap Motion, and we attach it to the Oculus, and he found a way to communicate better because his speech pattern was interrupted. So he used hand gestures, and the growth potential of that for Tyler was massive. And that's one of the ones that I just love to see.
We are always excited to see students hone their skills and what they're good at, but even more excited when students find a way to strengthen areas in which they are most challenged. Special thanks this week to Beth from Cabot and John from Hot Springs in sharing some special East moments and experiences. And to our student producer, Kevin from Springdale High. If you're interested in the changes East students are making in their community, follow along with us on social media at the East Initiative or visit us on the web at eastinitiative.org. I'm Jerry Prince with East. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much to Jerry and the other folks with the East Initiative, always providing an update for us. We love hearing what's going on in the different East programs around the state and really around the country.
Yeah, they every week like clockwork. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Hey, this just in, some breaking news about the Conrad Challenge, but in all seriousness, yeah. So in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the legendary moon landings, the Conrad Challenge has created the Moonwalker capsule. It's going to fly aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard launch vehicle, and it's going to digitally house all of the 2018-2019 student submissions from the Conrad Challenge. So that is going to be very, very cool. All of those entries go into space. That's pretty awesome. Remember, registration ends November 2nd. Don't miss your moonshot. Get your team registered. Go to conradchallenge.org.
Awesome. Wow, going to space.
That's so cool.
I have to tell my mother that when she asks why her cell phone's messing up. Give it a second. It's going to space.
That's right. That's right. It's got to bounce off a few things, you know?
Conrad Challenge kids are literally sending their stuff to space.
That's right, man.
That's pretty cool. Hey, it's been a great show today. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. Hope you guys had a good Halloween.
Don't forget to visit schmoop.com.
Schmoop.
I can't even say it right. SCHMOOP.com. Take a look at it. Want to thank David Siminoff for coming on the show. Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
I'm David Henderson.
We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the EduTech Guys. EduTechGuys.com.